Everyone, this is my match day 2 match report and analyzed. And the both team is UCL CSSA, which is mine, and the other is City CSSA, which is the same opponent that we faced in the first match day. In these matches, I realized some defense issue that we have experienced from the last match, so I have made some adjustment. I divide the pitch in as 3 parts for the front, the first third, and the middle third. I ask my player to back to the middle third to organize the defense, and I ask the striker not to chasing the ball or pressure the defender who holding the ball. I do this in purpose because we don't have connected a good teamwork during this moment. And on the other hand, actually I will explain later in this video, because if I don't give this clear instruction, the striker might chasing the ball individually, which creates a lot of issues and a huge gap behind them. Here's the first one I would like to show you. And the opponent gave a throw, and we try to win the ball. You see left back is here. Sorry about the camera angle, but the left back trying to win the ball in the left midfield position, but it creates a huge gap behind him, and see the opponent released the ball successfully, which creates a huge space in the midfield. The defender gets the ball in the midfield, and they got a huge space in front of him. And actually, the striker is good at pace and physics and some tech turnover skills. He can this huge space in front of him could be very dangerous, and it creates a good chance for opponent. And the good thing from this defense is good, because Brandon didn't choose to slice or tackle the ball, and he keep the same distance and keep the space between him and the striker, which is very good at delaying their attacking, and it creates many time for us to reorganize the defense in our third. And the pressure of the right midfield, of course, he have time to back to the position to cover the ball and to end this attacking. And here is why I didn't ask the striker to win the ball in their third. It's not because aggressive or something, because they need to have a good teamwork, which means if the striker tries to win the ball, the midfield have to follow him, and the fullback and the central back need to follow the midfield to keep the formation tight. But apparently we can't do this at this precisely moment, which might cause an issue like that. And the opponent threw the ball, and the striker keen to the ball and want to win the ball back in the front, and the left midfield have 2 people in front of him, and we can see the gesture of the defender. So I can put it back. Yeah, it is very clear. The gesture that the opponent showed the right hand side, and which gives a huge space. Keeper can come through and get the ball. And actually, here is another defender over here. And the other reason is while the striker is chasing and trying to win the ball back, only left midfield followed him, and he doesn't try to call for the support. And during this moment, our right midfield still taking the break and having the rest, which caused a huge gap, and he had a good turnover. This ball releasing is very bad quality. I mean, if I have another one who can be in the position, definitely it's a great chance to win. But we need to build such connection between forward or between the striker and the midfielder. Otherwise, this gap can create a disastrous result in our match. Because we lost 5 and actually 3 of them is beginning that we trying to pursue the ball and fail in the transition. In the transition stage, we failed. We presume to do some counter attack, and actually they do the counter attack into us. And here is a huge gap between the striker and the midfield. And here's a very good chance because we don't have a tight defender in the midfield. The opponent gets the ball very quickly and swiftly, which is to create another chance. Here in this scenario, it is another bad example about how the better connection and actually it's a bad pressure. I have to admit. I mean the intention is good, but when the right midfield trying to pursue and win the ball back, we need a support. We need the right midfield needs to get the right back behind to cover this one, and we need the central midfield to cover this one, and the left midfield cover the one on the opponent's right hand side. But we can see there's no one in the right back, and we don't get any pressure here, which is cause we have 3 in front and only 1 midfield in the back. They can easily make advantages in the midfield to create a huge chance. And when he gets the ball, within 4 seconds, there is no one coming to pressure him. If we can replay that again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is unbelievable that the opponent can have 5 seconds to get the ball, and actually the player is not good. He's not in the high quality, and we do a very good interception here and win the ball back. If there is a right back, if the right back is in front, then we can definitely win the ball in the midfield, but we need support. Before we can do something to create teamwork here, we can't create such gap, because if the blue shirt, opponent blue shirt, I don't know what his name, have passed this guy, and who is the central midfield, also shoulder the defender's job in the pitch, he will face the 3 defender of our team directly, which all of our striker are in front. So I asked him to stay in the midfield, not to chasing the ball, just to keep the formation tight. The good formation and the discipline is critical for the player in the matches. And following is a good example. We didn't train to chase the ball, and we can see our players didn't waste their energy to pressure and back to their position as they want, and we squeeze the midfield, and we ask them to doing the long distance passing, which they are not really good at. They don't have any passer in their pitch. So their distant pass is so the success rate of his distant pass is very low. I can hardly remember they can create some good high quality distant pass directly to the striker. I can't remember that after replaying the video, and due to that they create a lot of they waste a lot of chance, and we can easily get our ball back and reorganize our defender from the goalkeeper. And their attacking efficiency is getting lower than earlier. And same as the others, the striker doesn't try to chase in the ball, and actually he should get him back more deeper rather than go in front. He still have the intention to go in front, but I'm in the side of the pitch and I ask him to not do that. And so I mean sometimes the player is not really is very emotional and they want to be aggressive and win the ball back, which is really good. However, if we can see if we lost the ball, we can't pressure win the ball back. Our midfield are exposed to the opponent, and we don't have any left midfield here, so our central midfield have to cover the space of the left hand side, and the defense line, the midfield has been split because they create a huge gap in the middle because the middle defender midfield is grabbing the left, and so this position should be held as the midfield. The reason of them to easily getting the ball is just because our four of the midfield all of our midfield and the striker are in front. They try, but it is really hard. It is really hard for them to win the ball back, especially when they are doing their individual work. This is very good to 1-2, 2-1, and another. If they can pass the ball and going through the midfield swiftly, which can create a disastrous outcome to our goalkeeper. And here's a good chance that we're trying to organize. Sorry, some problem with my computer. Yeah, here's a good chance for the team. As we can see, the striker and the midfielder try to keep in their position to squeeze. And we got actually, I think there is a left back here. So we got numbers advantages in there, and we can easily win the ball back to block them, and they can find they are really hard. They will struggle to get through the midfield. Although the player is different and they are not very good at the skills or something. But such organization and discipline helped the team to keep the balance. This helped this. Sorry. And following I will show this is a good case. So this is going to be another problem that we faced during these matches is the transition. The problem that we face is transition. Sorry. Sometimes we can win the ball back, but we did really bad and awful. Actually, it's really awful when we are doing the transition strategy. When we are doing the transition, we do in the transition we can barely control the ball. Actually, we need more support from that. And on the other hand, we need to improve our formation when we are at out of possession scenario. Here's another block, but we need to win the ball back and organize how to organize the counter attack to threaten the opponent. And here's another chance. We grab the ball back and we lost the ball again. And we win the ball back twice, and we lost the ball again. We lost the ball twice. We win the ball twice, but we lost the ball twice, which means nothing. We did nothing from the past few seconds. And here's we win the ball third time, but we need good people to do the transition work. And they create a very big chance when they are doing the counter attack. This is how they succeed and how they scored 5. Actually, we didn't have lose the 5. No. We lose 2 years ago. But it is pathetic that when we trying to control the ball in the transition, the opponents win the ball back. It's not because the opponent is strong, because we're losing the ball so easily in the transition stage. Here is another case, and we need a tough and defend. We need a tough and aggressive when we win the ball in the defender, but not in the attacking third. And we're trying to win the ball in the midfield, but we still need some player to make it strong. And this one is create a big, huge chaos, and we can see the poor at communication. The right midfield should not chasing the ball over here, because the right back is still in their position, and the striker behind the right back is getting marked by the central defender. So what's the position of the right back? Is he should trust the right back and cooperate with the right back. Actually, they should change the position. The right back should chasing him, and the right midfield should be an assistant and people who do the transition activity. So, which is create a huge gap between in this area, and we can see there's nobody marked this one, and the opponent, the left midfield, can easily grab the ball in him. Actually, there's another Stratton over here, and we can see this one is the people that we lost, and the position of the left midfield is still the problem of the body position. He need to grab around to choose a better position. Just like he might not need to stay very close to center midfield. He might need to talk or communicate or put himself left a little bit, perhaps here, and to do the interception when the opponent's left midfield trying to do the switch. Look, he's not very good at that. Even the left back could stay closer. We can definitely win the ball back. This is not foul, and it's not penalty. It's good clearance. And this is how we lose the ball. Actually, it's not in the transition. Because the camera didn't expect that they can lose the ball so swiftly. We lose the ball once, but when we won it back. When we won it ball back and we lost again, and which creates a huge gap, and actually it's a good distance shot. And for this is very good, because when we're trying to do the pressure, and if we are patient, to grab the ball, we got a lot of midfielder. We make many movements in the midfield and central back. and doing the really good at counter attack. And in this, we still see him, we trying, and actually I asked him to try to stay in the position, not chasing the ball. And actually, I need, there's some problem with the left midfield because he shouldn't stay with the striker. His position is midfield, not winger. So he might be more aggressive and create gap. If the opponent's left back is good at passing, I mean, he can easily switch the ball to the right, which is another threat, and the left back will be under exposure of the right midfield. But overall, in this defense, we are tight and we are patient. All of players didn't lose their position, and we didn't pursue to win the ball in the front, and we just gave them pressure to let them not get through the midfield. They will feel struggle, and they will not try it and attempt to go the ground ball in the midfield. So they did a lot of useless pass in the back. And finally, what they can do is doing some long pass and give the ball back to us. And there's a good transition. Actually, it's a very few highlight point in this game. This very good transition, and will create a good chance to do the counter attack and finish that. Actually, it doesn't score, but it's a very good case for us. And if we do the summarize, I will say for both things. First is the body position and how we keep the formation tight. I will stop the picture that we are in very good. Where is that? Yeah, maybe I can stop. Maybe we can stop to here. Yeah. Maybe we can stop here. So because we got 4 midfield and 1 left back in the middle third, we squeeze the opponent with trying to get through. So this is the key point. When the formation of our team need to be tight, especially in the midfield, to release the pressure of the back. About the defender, we need more strength in the midfield, trying to control, trying to press, and trying to win the ball back before they doing the counter attack. And the other thing is we need a very good when we are doing the transition stage, and we lost the ball easily in the transition stage, which creates many chances for the opponent to do the counter attack and to finish as a goal. And here's all for the second week report summarize, and thank you all for the listening.